Okay, Caleb, what do lace, snow, and clay all have in common?
Lace, snow, and clay, things that are going to be mentioned in our podcast today.
Correct.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Nonsensicality.
What?
This is going to be an amazing episode.
Try that again.
Well, I was going with some Sean Connery, I think. It's going to be an amazing episode.
Please do the entire podcast in that voice.
I can't do it. Besides, that's not what this is about. It's about Bond or Sean Connery. It's about
toilet paper.
This is a subject that's been on a lot of people's minds lately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like in America especially, there's no, it's just everybody's thought about it.
Yes.
And thought about getting it. And some people have even hoarded it lately.
I have heard that there is a problem.
Right now, we're still in the midst of the whole coronavirus. Our county has ordered a 30-day lockdown. So so I guess my question is in 30 days, are we going to still have toilet paper? And that's what a lot of people think. It's just like, I don't know why that was the thing. It's like, we've talked about this. We went into Sam's.
Uh-huh.
We talked about last week, I think. Uh-huh. And like people were buying tons of toilet paper, but no food. I'm like, you're not going to need the toilet paper if you're not getting food. But.
Well, it inspired the question though.
Yeah.
How long have we had toilet paper? Where did it come from? And what's the history? And so I did my favorite thing.
You looked up stuff.
I looked up stuff.
You're good at looking up stuff.
I love looking up stuff.
Now, okay, but right now, let's just talk about a little bit about the situation right now.
Okay.
I think the idea is it's kind of this shortage panic frenzy thing,
right? Where
people are afraid that they're not going to be able to do the paperwork when they finish their business, as it were.
Okay.
We're gonna try to keep this, clean, like Charmin clean. Yeah, clean. Okay, sorry, that commercial is the worst commercial.
No, I love it.
That little bear.
The little bear. Come on.
Charmin has had some great commercials.
Don't squeeze it.
Don't squeeze the Charmin. I didn't get that. It's
no, because you're supposed to squeeze it because it's soft.
Squeeze that Charmin. I'm not going to buy toilet paper. Every time I buy toilet paper, I give it a little squeeze.
You hug it.
I don't hug it.
It's
just a hand squeeze. I don't hug the toilet paper.
You hug it.
If it's a big package, I have to hug it just to hold it.
Yeah, those big packages.
So anyway, people are in kind of this panic mode over toilet paper as opposed to several other things that could be. A lot of things are running out. Our store is really, it's kind of scary a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm not too worried. I think things are going to bounce back, but it's like, there's this like toilet paper panic, which isn't the first time.
Oddly enough, no, it's not. In 1973, Johnny Carson, he had the Tonight Show.
He was great.
He was the late night guy. And so there was the gas shortage.
Yes.
And so he's talking about this on his show, doing his opening monologue. In December of 1973, he also talked about a toilet paper shortage.
He was just kind of joking, right?
He was kidding.
Yeah,
but it caused, because he was so popular and everyone was tuned in, it actually caused a toilet paper shortage.
So like over Christmas, there was no toilet paper.
Correct.
So it was not a white Christmas.
Well, if you had a lot of toilet paper,
I guess you were hoarding the toilet paper. So he kind of Orson Welles the toilet paper. I wonder who started this one, because somebody had to have started the reason for toilet paper being the thing.
So who was like toilet paper patient zero?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who was it? Because I was reading some articles. They're like, there's really no reason. No one ever said you need to stockpile toilet paper.
Oh, no, but they said it.
They said it.
They.
And I was like, when this was going on the other day, I looked on Amazon Marketplace, a 12-pack someone was selling it for $100. And I'm like, I kind of did a little, like pronouncing a little curse on them. I think I was just like, what's wrong with you? I didn't curse at them, but it was just like this whole, you're a horrible person kind of thing. If you're selling toilet paper for $100 or whatever, stop. You're a horrible person. But I don't think anybody that listens to this does.
No.
They're all good people.
They're great people.
But
they love their nonsense. That's why they
love
listen.
their nonsense. They think $100 for toilet paper is also nonsense.
That is nonsense. But I have a good amount of nonsense today.
Can I share about my nonsense or like growing up though? Because you're going to talk about origins of toilet paper. And I assume some of the things people used.
Yeah,
right?
and some fun facts. And
Yeah.
I've got lots.
So when I grew up, I just want to give my personal story. When the toilet paper panic hit, I was just like, what's wrong with you people? And the reason is because we grew up, poor. Our family, there were times when it's not like we were always poor, but there were times when we definitely financially struggled. And toilet paper gets down on the list of necessities whenever you're poor. And so we would use all sorts of other things. And it wasn't necessarily the most sanitary, but it was at least it worked. So like Kleenex was obviously the next step in line. It was the closest.
Right.
We've used napkins, like paper napkins. We've used washcloths and just wash them. And some people are like, that's disgusting. But there are also a whole group of people that use cloth diapers and do the same thing.
Right.
With a bigger load.
Gross.
I mean, it's the whole thing.
You could have glossed right over that.
Anyway, so growing up, we learned how to make do, and even from other cultures. I was a missionary for a while. My dad had this guy that worked for him that would always take a cup of water into the bathroom with him. And my dad was like, "What? Why does he have a cup of water? Did you get thirsty in there? Is he getting dehydrated from going?" Or turns out that he didn't use toilet paper. Instead, he used the water. And 2 fingers. And we're just going to leave it there for, your imagination. But basically, that was, and there's some cultures that's what you do.
You're kind of stepping all over.
I'm stepping on your facts.
Just my beloved list of facts, my friend.
But this is real. I mean, this was a real life experience. And my dad was like, he never understood why he had that cup of water in the bathroom. And so he finally asked him, and he's like, oh, well, this is how I do it. And it was
nice.
But I'm sorry,
right.
I did not mean to step on your facts. I just wanted to say we shouldn't panic about toilet paper.
No, it's fine.
And if you want to loot some toilet paper, I know the mother lode, actually.
No way.
Branson, Missouri. The Ripley's Museum has the world's largest roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, but that'd be theft and also frowned upon.
That'd be probably a grand theft because I'm sure it's valuable. It's the world's largest. It was made by Charmin. I've actually been there.
You could go hug it.
And
don't squeeze it.
I didn't hug it, but I was there with a friend who hugged it. And they hugged it, and I did not hug it.
Don't squeeze the Charmin.
So anyway, all right, let's hear your amazing facts.
Okay, so toilet paper has a rich history. In fact, it goes all the way to the 2nd century BC.
So toilet paper has been around. See, I always felt like toilet paper was just like the last couple hundred years. My dad used corn cobs whenever he was a kid.
Yeah. Okay, so all of that does happen. Yes, but in the 2nd century BC, Chinese invented wrapping and padding material known as paper. Okay?
Well, yes.
Now, there is lots of evidence from archaeologists that paper was also used in the bathroom as well. In the 6th century Common Era, CE, toilet paper was widely used in China. China's awesome.
AD for a lot of people.
Well, yes. AD. But so historically, the first modern toilet paper was made in 1391, and it was created for the Chinese emperor's family. Each sheet was perfumed, and there it is, the toilet paper as we come to know it.
Perfume.
1391.
That's a while ago. But that's still in the history of the world, still fairly recent.
Yeah. But I mean, what's funny though is you look at the mass-produced toilet paper.
This is what I'm getting at. When was that happening?
Well, okay, so you've got...
When did Charmin come on the scene?
Well, I'll tell you. So remember the date 1391.
1391.
Long time ago, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then nothing until we get to
corn cobs.
1857.
1857. So we're talking like right before the Civil War.
Yeah. So that's when you first get like this commercially produced paper. It was medically made. Every sheet was wet with aloe and printed with the name of its maker, Joseph Gaiety.
Wow, aloe. That's like, I never buy the aloe.
To prevent, issues.
Chafing and all that. Yeah.
No, other issues. But
I don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't. I don't want to say
But we're curious.
Hemorrhoids?
You can say that word. It's okay.
But that's what it was. It was, but people didn't like it because they didn't want to spend $12 for 500 sheets of this wet aloe paper.
$12 in 1800s money.
Yes.
Wow. You could buy a car in 1800s.
No, actually, it was the equivalent of $12.
Oh, so it's like, okay, so it's about what it's going for nowadays.
On Amazon Marketplace.
On Amazon Marketplace.
But
it was Facebook Marketplace.
They didn't like it because they used so many other free options.
Corn cobs.
Correct. So then,
sorry, one of my memories is my dad told me, when he was picking the daddy long legs off, like we talked about last week, but that they would store up corn cobs because they had a farm and stuff, and
we'll get to that.
We'll
get to that.
They called it bun fodder.
Oh boy, there's a whole name for it. Oh my. So then you've got that, and then you advance a little further in history, and you actually do now get the perforated little rolls, and it's all happy. And that was in 1871.
1871.
But
wait a minute. Doesn't that mean that mass-produced greeting cards were done before or Valentine's cards? Because didn't we talk about Valentine's cards before that?
And depending on the sentiment on the card, it would be either used, for love or in the outhouse.
Yeah.
So,
but that's interesting.
But here's the funny thing. Okay, you've got some stuff happening in the late 1800s.
Yes.
You have the Chinese way back in 13.
Yes.
That got the perfume stuff.
Yeah, 1391 or something.
It was not until 1935 that we were able to get it without splinters.
Wow.
That's why people didn't like it, because it had splinters. But it wasn't until...
was it made from wood pulp or something?
It was uncomfortable. Yeah, it had splinters. And so I didn't like
Not
paying
in that
for
spot. No.
So,
because nobody's going to go get tweezers for you, and no one's going to help extract splinters.
So in 1935, Northern, it's still around today.
Yes, Northern quilted and all that.
Splinter free.
Was that what the ad campaign was? Splinter free.
It was splinter free. Wow. But do you remember the colored toilet paper, the pinks and the greens, to match the bathroom fixtures?
Yes. Those aren't very popular.
No.
Those are not actually sanitary, really.
They don't exist anymore, but we always had colored toilet paper. I thought that was hokey.
No, my mom told me never buy colored toilet paper. I learned that lesson.
Well, there's some things that are, just silly. But yes, so you've got, now splinter-free toilet paper.
I'm thankful.
Yeah.
For splinter-free.
But now hold on to that thought, that you're thankful for splinter-free, because I'm going to give you some things that were other options.
So these predate or alternatives.
If you didn't want to fork
such as
over
corn cobs.
If you didn't want to fork over the cash for the splinter-ridden or even the splinter-free version, you got some options.
Okay, what can we do to clean to make ourselves Charmin clean?
Charmin clean
without actually getting Charmin.
Well, okay, leaves, grass. Okay. Ferns, corn cobs, fruit skins, seashells, stone, sand, moss, snow, and also water.
Well, see, water makes sense, especially if you have one of those fountain toilets, a bidet.
Snow.
No, that's okay. When I was a kid, I was kindergarten, and we were out in the woods with my brother and some friends, and I had to go. And my brother's just use some leaves. Well, it was fall.
Did you use the wrong kind of leaves?
No, it wasn't poison ivy. Okay. But they were all dead leaves. And so it was brown, crumply leaves, which was very bad. Fun. And then when I got home, I finished the job, and my mom noticed the leaves floating in the toilet because they didn't flush very well. And she's like, "What happened?" I was embarrassed. I thought I'd done something wrong by going in the woods. I was like, I had to go, and then I used leaves. And then it just kept floating in the toilet, even though I'd flushed.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was not.
I love your personal stories.
I have a lot. It was embarrassing. I was so embarrassed because I was I thought what I was doing was morally wrong. I should not be going out in the woods if I have to do a number two, and so I was so embarrassed, and I thought I was going to get in trouble from my mom. She's just wondering why are there broken up little leaves floating?
Well, here's the funny thing. So many people actually were uncomfortable with the whole idea of toilet paper. Americans were very embarrassed about it. Yeah. They were forced to deal with the issue of toilet paper when, outhouses were going away and indoor plumbing, and you had pipes now and sewer systems. And so,
right, because you couldn't just throw anything down the drain.
Yeah, so for lots of years, it's okay. People have been embarrassed for a long time.
Yeah.
You're fine. Yeah.
What about the flushable wipe thing? What's up with that?
Well,
you got anything on that?
No, because those are interesting.
Those are just a big marketing scam, in my opinion. Yeah. Now that sounds bad because we have some, and there are times when that helps, but I mean, it's like we've gone for centuries without it. And now they're saying, no, you are filthy dirty if you do
Charmin
not use,
clean.
if you do not use the flushable wipe too.
So we're going to go on a geographical tour, per se.
What they did all over the world for toilet paper.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Put on your seatbelt, your tray tables in the upright position. We're going to take a trip around the world to Rome. The Roman Empire.
Okay.
They were actually the cleanest people. They had, the wealthy people used wool and rose water.
Okay, neither of which I like. I mean, wool is abrasive. It makes you itchy. And rose water, I don't like the smell of rose water.
But others used a sponge attached to a wooden stick. It was probably gross.
A loofah.
But it was soaked in highly salted seawater, so really salty water to keep it clean.
Okay.
And, they had
like
public,
saline, yeah.
Yeah, they had public, places, and so there were sticks and sponges and.
Oh, see, that's where I draw the line.
Well,
public use sticks and sponges. No, I'm carrying my own personal one with me.
Well, okay.
I'm not going to use secondhand stick and sponge from Joe Bob who used it before.
Knows? I wasn't there.
I know, but that's gross.
Well, maybe it was not that way.
No.
Maybe I just made that up.
I have a problem even like drinking after other people or I have problems breathing the air of other people. Let alone using their stick and sponge.
Okay, we're gonna leave Rome then.
Okay, let's get out of Rome.
We're gonna leave Rome. We're gonna go to Greece.
Oh, well,
the Greeks use clay. If that helps you any.
No, I don't get that. What?
Okay.
Because clay. I mean, how do they use clay? I don't know.
I didn't ask.
Oh, you just they use clay.
They use clay.
Because I'm just wondering.
I don't want. See, this is a subject.
Dried clay?
I don't need that much information.
Rock? Because if it's wet clay, then it's just adding to the situation, not helping the situation.
I'm sure it's dry.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like...
Okay, this is causing you anxiety. We're going to leave Greece. We're going to go to the coastal regions. Okay?
They just sat in the water.
Mussel shells or coconut husks.
Oh, ouch. Keep going. Keep moving. We're going to get us off the coast.
Okay. Europeans. Hands. Okay, that's gross.
Well, they probably had water, though.
Okay.
That reminds me of a joke that you're probably going to know the punchline, but if you're an American outside the outhouse, what are you inside the outhouse?
What?
European.
Oh, dear.
There you go. There's a joke for the day.
It's a terrible joke.
Awesome.
Okay, we're going to...
people are going to use that joke.
We're going to go to Alaska. The Eskimos.
They use snow, I bet.
They used, actually, moss or snow.
I get the moss.
Okay.
I get the moss.
Vikings, wool.
Yeah, wool, I get it. Like, the thing about it is wool would be a renewable resource because it constantly grows.
Right.
It's
as opposed to moss.
Well, that too. Moss grows too. I'm just saying wool is a good because it's soft, but it also is renewable to a degree. But obviously, I don't think it grows as fast.
But you said it was itchy.
But I'm like a little sensitive to wool, so wool makes me a little itchy. So I don't want to be itchy where I would be using toilet paper. Okay. All
right. The colonial Americans, corn cobs.
Yeah, all the way Mayans, up to my dad.
Mayans, corn cobs.
Corn cob.
And, the Chinese, they've had toilet paper forever. So, they're fine.
It's funny. I also remember my childhood. We went to visit my aunt one time. This is before I knew my dad used them, but my aunt obviously was my dad's sister. So she grew up in this. But I don't know where she got it. And I don't know. I was in the bathroom and they had the toilet paper roll holder.
Right.
But attached to it on one of those little coiled telephone line, things was a corn cob. I guess it's a joke, but I'm like, why would she have a corn cob attached to the toilet paper holder?
Well,
I wonder if anybody else remembers that. Cause it was weird. Cause it was my aunt's house. I'm just visiting. There's a corn cob in there. I'm thinking, is someone eating at the same time as going?
And they just left it behind.
But why is it on the little telephone cord, the coily thing? It was weird.
It is weird.
And I just remember thinking, this is weird. Why does she have this? And then my dad later on told me about how that was just part of their life growing up. That and the Sears and Roebuck catalog pages.
I was just about to say that. Yep. In fact, I was trying to,
I'm sorry. I'm usurping your information.
I'm going to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nonsensicality with just Caleb because Kim left. But that was the other thing. It's it was one of those.
The Sears and Roebuck and the Farmer's Almanac. Now, fun fact about the Farmer's Almanac.
Well, because once the date is gone.
It had a hole through the corner so people could easily hang it on a hook in their outhouse. Like the Farmer's Almanac people
That was
knew
purposeful.
that this was the purpose. And
after the fact. After the day is done.
Yes.
So you better go slow with it. You don't want to get ahead of the law. Like, what was it going to say today?
I know. So you got to be careful. But yeah, it came prepared with a hole in the corner.
That's amazing. I'm sorry. Like, so well thought out. Does it still have a hole in the corner?
I don't know.
I think they should, just for novelty's sake, but.
Okay, so you're talking about the whole toilet paper shortage and
Right.
the panic. But I looked at the, fun facts about toilet paper, and about 70 to 75% of the world actually doesn't use it at all.
Yeah.
So,
It's an American thing.
we'll be okay.
It's a third world problem, or a first world problem. Sorry, it's a first world problem. It has nothing to do with, the rest of the world is looking at us thinking, what a bunch of idiots. There are plenty of leaves. There are plenty of pieces of clay, apparently. There are plenty of mussel shells.
Yeah,
and plenty of corn cobs.
Wool, lace.
And lace.
You can put it on put a sponge on a stick. You can be very Roman.
Yeah.
You can be a rich Roman and, add some rose water.
I have some friends who are missionaries to Africa, and they'd posted how most homes in Africa where they live have it's kind of like a water spout like you would water plants with or something. That's called a penny bidet. And it's essentially what you would clean with, because toilet paper was a rare commodity there. And so it's just, you just water it.
This really is a public service for people that are,
for people that are panicking about the toilet paper, you have options.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad we have like a spray nozzle in our shower. If for some reason we do run out of toilet paper and no other options.
Huh. All right.
Getting really personal on this one.
Really, really too much information. Okay, so the average person uses 57 sheets of toilet paper a day.
Now, hold on. I have a method.
Well,
and it depends on the kind of toilet paper.
Here's the formula.
I try
Most
to do
people use
3 sheets per.
8 to 9 sheets per use.
That's about me. Yeah.
So then about 57.
Sometimes I try to get away with 6, but I always feel a little afterwards.
Wow. We are just
I don't feel right.
going into completely uncharted waters.
So I do 3 sheets and I fold it into thirds.
We might muzzle you for the rest of the podcast.
This is great. I do 3.
I don't know. You just stop talking. For the love of everything good, stop talking.
It's going to be the highest listened podcast episode of All Nonsensicality because of Caleb and his full disclosure.
If Caleb posts about sleeping in the yard later, this is why.
Hey, there's plenty of leaves out there.
You'll be fine. Okay. You go to hotels, right?
Yes, and they do the little triangle fold.
Well, yeah, that's cool. But do you take the toilet paper or do you leave it behind?
No, I don't take toilet. I'm just saying if we were now in a hotel, I might be like, I might need that. But no, I don't.
Oddly enough, 7% of Americans steal the toilet paper.
7%? That's not bad, because 7% are probably stealing most of the things out of the hotel. If it's not tied down or, they're probably taking all the stationery. They're taking that free ink pen.
That free ink pen.
Because then we, heaven knows we need more ink pens in our lives. I have tons. But they're taking all the bottles of shampoo, all the bars of soap, even if they didn't use them. They might throw a washcloth or towel in there if they're feeling so inclined. But 7%, that doesn't surprise me. Because it's just toilet paper. It's pretty renewable.
I thought it was kind of odd, though.
No.
It's never occurred to me.
I'm guessing easily 50% take the shampoo bottles and soap.
Well, yeah, but
so
the toilet paper, though,
it's weird.
You don't want to keep a shampoo going from customer to customer, but the roll of toilet paper, I'm like, that just belongs. I've never thought about taking it.
I would have never taken it. No.
But so there is the end of my.
That's it. That's all the facts.
That's it. And
I'm sorry for stepping on so many of them.
That's okay. I think you should just, say goodbye now and share no more personal information.
Hey, just one more thing. If you've been enjoying this one, check out the archives, like all the other podcasts, because there's a lot of crazy fun ones that we've had.
Oh, it's so much nonsense.
It is a lot of nonsense. It's a lot of just goofiness, and just see how far we've come in our nonsense. And but yeah, I would just say check them out.
See how far we've come in our nonsense.
We've come a long way in toilet paper as well as nonsense.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Just think about it. Like people are probably getting really tired of binge watching things. Like we've binge watched so many things, and we're like, that's it, we're done.
There's nothing
Binge
left.
listen, and then you can like exercise while you're doing it, or do some house cleaning
You
while
can
you're
take
listening.
us on a walk.
You can take us on a walk, keeping 6 feet away from other people.
Yes.
While you're walking. But yeah, you can take us on a walk, get some sunshine.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't have to just sit glued to the TV or your computer.
That's
Or just
right.
even while looking at your phone, you can just pop some headphones in, some AirPods,
Have some nonsense.
and have some nonsense. Just listen and enjoy, and go about your day, and just smile occasionally. And then what's really fun is if you're outside walking around and people are near you, and you're like laughing out loud or something, and then they're gonna be like, "What's wrong with them?" And they're like, you can just be like, "Hey, just nonsense."
Getting my nonsensicality.
And then you can share that with them.
That's
But anyway,
right.
yeah. Also, if you like this, share on your social media. So just like whenever you see us post something, share it. Other people can enjoy it. It's not costing them anything,
That's right.
unless you want to sponsor us on Patreon. But
Hey,
we're doing
that'd be
this
good too.
free of charge. But if you want to sponsor us on Patreon, you can go to camptownmedia.com. Check us out there, and definitely follow our social media at Camptown Media. We'd love for you to be a part of our lives, as we're sharing probably way too much of our lives with you.
Yeah.
Especially our toilet paper
I'm going to say
habits.
one of us is certainly overshared.
Okay, last question.
Nah.
Fold or crumple? What do you do?
Fold.
Okay. I used to be a crumpler when I was a kid, and I had way too many mishaps.
You were not like the little kid or the little bear dancing.
I wasn't Charmin clean in several places because I crumpled. Then I learned to fold, and you get better coverage. There's my other public service announcement.
Yeah.
It's better to fold than crumple. I think we should put that on Instagram, though, when we post
I
this.
don't.
It's like fold or crumple.
I don't.
And just see.
I don't want to know that
It's
about
better
people.
it's better than asking the "do you look before you flush" question, because that's another one that.
Okay.
people- Are we done?
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Oh, my word.
I haven't stopped it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm going to just say bye so you don't talk anymore. Bye-bye.
Poop.
No!